topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues and create a custom natural holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I can certainly make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life more. Not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power. It's actually been over 11 years, and I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51 when I never ran from childhood to adulthood due to foot pain. And I've done 8 half marathons. Mindset is the key to lasting change. And as a certified holistic health coach, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide them to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing health, releasing weight efficiently when needed, and enhancing your mindset. With my clients, I help them recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results. Sometimes good and sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset to succeed in life. It's also imperative to manage your emotions and release those low vibrational emotions such as fear, frustration, and doubt, because they're going to slow you down and get you stuck physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like a hot air balloon that has ballasts, I help my clients release their emotional ballasts and baggage so they can uplift to a happier, healthier life. And in turn, they are releasing their stress and reshaping their core beliefs. You will see and feel the differences with my coaching programs. Ask me about them by setting up a consultation at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChanges Live as in Victory ES.com/Linktree, LINKTREE. And there I'll guide you to a better, healthier life with natural solutions for mind, body, and soul. Currently, we're certainly in uncertain times, and people are losing their jobs. There's stress, and there's a whole bunch of international issues going on too. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset to navigate through these stressful times. And I created a workshop, Empower Your Mind and Life, where you learn how to manage stress and emotions. It's on Saturday, June 21st at 9 a.m. You can go to the site for more details, which is at https://bit.ly/empower your mind and life, all as one word with no spaces, to learn more about it and register. Today, I'm thrilled to have Dr. Taylor Mitchell back. She is a traditional naturopath. Dr. Taylor is actually following the footsteps of her grandparents, who were pioneers in holistic medicine. Taylor has dedicated her life to the art and science of natural healing. Growing up, she was surrounded by the wisdom of herbal remedies and nutritional therapies and the power of the body's innate capabilities of healing itself. She has developed a deep passion to supporting others on their wellness journey. Today, we'll be discussing herbal healing legacy and breakthrough naturopathic formulas. So let's welcome Dr. Taylor Mitchell, the owner of Creation's Way back to my show. Dr. Mitchell, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So, can you tell us what inspired you to become a naturopathic doctor?
Absolutely, yeah. So my grandparents are naturopathic doctors, and I moved closer to them at the age of 13 and began to spend a lot of time with them. And I remember overhearing my grandpa on the phone talk to clients, and I also met some of their clients in person when I went to their cancer clinic in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which they operated for over 20 years, and they had tons of success. And I just heard people talk about their experience with my grandparents and going through their protocols. And they had different machines, they had different remedies, they had, mindfulness exercises like you talk about. I think that's a really big piece of healing is mindfulness exercises.
Yes.
That I was exposed to what I think not many people get exposed to at a young age. And so hearing and seeing people go from, a really bad place to a really healthy place, it's like, this is amazing. And I would hear my grandpa talk on the phone with his clients for hours. They had a really big, beautiful home at this lake house. And so I spent most of my time there. And so I heard over and over my grandpa talking about health and nutrition and mindset and detoxification and nutrition. And it was incredible. And I don't think that my family had, as much interest and it impacted them as much as it did me. But for me, I was like obsessed and I wanted to know everything. And so I asked my grandparents, tell me everything you guys know about nutrition. And so I just knew at a young age, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. When kids get exposed to things early in life, they cling on to it. It's like their belief system is so like a sponge. And as you get older, it's kind of like we think all these things. We think too much in the brain and not in the heart.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
So that's probably what happened. But you know what? It became your love of your life, hasn't it?
Absolutely. My everyday life. And I love it.
Yeah, that's great. I love being part of that world too. I found so many solutions that helped me and my family and others. And just like you, I'm just as passionate about helping people, do something about their health where they didn't think it was possible, because there's always possibilities, aren't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, how is the naturopathic medicine different from allopathic or conventional medicine?
That's a great question. I think there's a lot of differences. When you go to a medical doctor, they will check your blood pressure. They will check your weight. They will maybe, ask you a few questions, but they never asks you about what you eat, your lifestyle. I'll have a lot of questions that I ask people that can kind of pinpoint root causes. I don't think that allopathic medicine are necessarily as interested in the root cause, because for them, they don't think that science apparently doesn't have any root cause. So they're not treating it in that from that way. They're not treating it with like, let's get to the root cause. And holistic naturopathic medicine very much so emphasizes the root cause. Let's pinpoint, do you have mold in your home? Have you swim in unsafe water? That's a really big one that I think not a lot of people think about. I had clients who swim in sewer water as children. And and we were able to pinpoint that that's what's causing most of their issues, is that they have so much gunk in their body, bacteria, parasites, stuff that was growing that just kept getting bigger. A lot of people swim in like unsafe water in many different areas. Air quality is really important. What water you drink is really important. So many people still drink the tap water. And it's really important to emphasize that. Also, a lot of people take supplements that they can get from the grocery store, like Costco and Walmart. And I don't recommend that. I think it's important to know the stuff you're taking is really good quality, because supplements can actually cause you harm if they're not good quality, so things like that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because when I was releasing my, 70 pounds, the first 50 pounds, I was just dead door tired with no energy, and I would go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. And as soon as I started taking, higher quality supplements, I couldn't believe it. In 4 days, I felt so much better. Probably because I already released 50 pounds that had toxins in them. Because it kind of conditioned my body to be able to absorb things better. And within 4 days, I was like, I'm up until 10 o'clock at night. What's going on? I don't drink caffeine. I don't do this. And I wasn't buzzed or anything. I just was feeling better.
Yeah.
It makes a world of difference when it's a high quality product.
100%.
And I agree with you. And our waterways, just like you said, tap water has a lot of chemicals in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned from you and others that, chemicals are synthetic and our body tends to fight them, which kind of slows down our body systems. And so it's better to, not drink that tap water.
Or even showering in it, can still
You're
absorbing it. So I have a shower filter, and I think it's important to have.
Yeah, it's really important to have because you're still absorbing it through your skin. Like essential oils go through your skin within 26 seconds. So water will do the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And when you're exposed to the ocean waters, people don't really realize this. And I found this out with my son. He had a large sore that was a fin, rubbed his skin raw and had a large sore. And the doctor says, we got to put him on antibiotics because that ocean water is not clean. But she let me to do that and something else. And he has healed up really quickly. And she's told me, I'm amazed. You're a wonderful nurse.
Yes.
So that's my whole point, is that we need to be careful of what we're exposed to, and even the rains and things like that, because things are in our atmosphere.
Oh, for sure.
And they go into the ocean anyways.
Oh, yeah. And also with allopathic medicine, the difference is they're only allowed to recommend or prescribe drugs, perform surgeries, and do diagnostic tests. And that's really it. They're not allowed to prescribe or recommend nutrition, vitamins, and minerals. They can actually lose their license. I don't think a lot of people know that.
I don't know that.
They can get in serious trouble if they start recommending a healthy lifestyle like nutrition. And they're not allowed to.
Even functional medicine doctors?
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about allopathic doctors.
Okay.
So allopathic doctors are not legally allowed to recommend nutritional supplementation. Yeah. So I think not a lot of people know that. So whenever they go to a doctor, the doctor's only options are drugs, surgery, diagnostic tests, CT scans, which cause a lot of radiation. Drugs have side effects, and surgery, I think that people should, see surgery as a last possible option. I think surgery, whenever people get diagnosed with cancer, doctors want to cut people open and just cut the cancer out. Which, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not making any recommendations, but I think that we should look at what the toxicity in our body is, why the cancer cells are there. I think there's a difference. Allopathic medicine is more about drugs and surgery, but holistic medicine is more about diet, lifestyle, mindfulness, nutritional supplementation, purifying your blood, rejuvenating your tissues, and that kind of thing. I think that's the big difference.
And that's very important. I think another big difference is the holistic approach versus a departmental approach is the best way to put it. With allopathic doctors, you got to see this specialist, that specialist, that specialist. And it takes a long time to go through that. And, it's really hard to get appointments with people.
Yeah, it is.
And as time goes on, that's more times where your cells are dividing and doing things and creating a problem possibly. Mm-hmm. And it's going to take even harder to recover, in my opinion. Am I wrong?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I have clients that are like, hey, I have an appointment scheduled 2 months out, and people are having to live with these symptoms that are just getting worse. 2 months is a long time to wait to see a specialist. So yeah, I mean, the doctor's offices are filled because so many people have health issues. So, with naturopaths and with holistic doctors, oftentimes you can get in quicker.
Yeah. Which is holistic as well as mind, body, and soul, just like your grandparents. So, now, what's the most rewarding part of your work? And could you possibly share a success story or two?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Man, I love what I do so much. I love people. I love helping people. I have a burning desire to help people and live a healthy, vibrant, happy life. And so many stories. So I have a client who had chronic tremors, and I have a product called Nerve Complex because it can, tremors can be a central nervous system or nervous system, and nerves, it can affect that, So Gave him that product. Within a few weeks, his tremors went away. Mind you, this guy had to stop being a police officer because of his chronic excessive tremors, you know?
Oh,
So
wow.
in a few weeks, his tremors stopped and he can live his life. He can go back to being a police officer. That's incredible.
Was
I
he
had a
given,
client,
was
his
he
wife
given
actually. Sorry, what?
was he given a label
What do you mean a label?
diagnosis?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then his wife, actually, she tore her ACL and was limping. She was 68 years old and she was in chronic pain. She was limping for over a year. She took my joint product on a Tuesday, and by Friday, she said she was no longer limping. These are her words. I was like, that's crazy. That's amazing. You know, so things like that. I have people who have had SIBO for years, and I give them some of my products to help kill. If also, I like to ask questions we can pinpoint because SIBO can be many different things. Is it parasites? Is it candida? Is it fungus? Is it mold? Bacterial overgrowth? Is it viruses, pathogens, microplasmas? There's so many things that can play a factor. And an overgrowth of bad bacteria and also not enough friendly bacteria. So many things kill our friendly bacteria, like pesticides that's sprayed on like 95% of our crops. Tap water, even showering in it can kill our friendly bacteria. Antibiotics, even if we took them 10 years ago. Hand sanitizer, I know it says on the label that it can kill 99.9% of bacteria. That's killing your friendly bacteria as well.
Yes.
Stress can do that. Alcohol can do that. Any medication can do that. And so that's the issue that we're seeing now is that people's gut don't have enough good bacteria that helps absorb nutrients. Our friendly bacteria is what digest food, absorb nutrients. It's our defense system that protects us from illnesses and bad bacteria that gets into our gut. So when we destroy that, we are destroying our defense system. And then we have all these bad bacteria. That's oftentimes what can happen. But I had somebody who had chronic SIBO and chronic bloating and discomfort. And with our products, you know, killing the candida and the fungus and the mold, killing a lot of those worms and bad bugs in the gut, and also strengthen the friendly bacteria, people can see the results right away. I've got multiple people who have helped with SIBO. I think that SIBO and like celiac disease and gut imbalances is one of the biggest issues that people are having. And whenever you don't have a healthy gut, it's easy for other things to not work as well because the digestion is like, you know, it's like the center of our health, you know, and there's a gut-brain connection as well. So if your gut's not working because they're connected through the vagus nerve and other things, then our brains aren't going to work as well. And we're not going to be able to think. We're not going to be able to make as good of decisions. We're not going to be able to get things done, you know. So there's so many things are affected by our gut health. So
yes, it is. And it's amazing how bacteria can just be killed by even mouthwash. So you got to be careful what you put in your mouth.
Absolutely.
And I personally cannot travel very well going to restaurants. I have to eat my own food.
Yeah.
Because you don't even know how the restaurants are cooking your food. And when I'm forced where I have to eat somewhere, that's usually when I have a problem.
Yeah, I know. Potato oils, you know, if you don't eat canola oil ever because you don't cook with it, then you go out to eat and everything's cooked in canola oil. I notice a difference. Like I notice the inflammation. I'm really tuned into my body. So I can notice when like I'm eating all these unhealthy things. So yeah.
I can feel how much oil they use just by how my mouth feels.
Yeah.
Because I cook in grass-fed butter. So it's a completely different feeling. And I'm like, uh-oh. And then lo and behold, yes, I'm going to have a problem.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And once that happens, it's creating that bad bacteria. It's creating that inflammation. And the inflammation can break through to, you know, land in different body systems. And, you know, you can have joint problems and other things going on. So it's really important to eat a clean, toxic-free diet that I told everybody about at the beginning.
Yeah.
So, and my experience, you know, it came a light bulb moment when I changed my diet because when I was very young, and I was 28 years old, restaurant food made me sick all the time, heartburn, indigestion. And when I stopped eating that way, it was like, all that went away.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's how important it is to eat a clean, healthy diet.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now you mentioned before treating the root cause, and I talk about treating the root cause as well. based on health and mindset. In your practice, what are you using that phrase for? Probably the exact same thing.
Yeah, just looking at what's going on, oftentimes it's emotional. Chinese medicine has been saying for thousands of years that any imbalance in our body can have an emotional root. I think that's a big one that most, healthcare practitioners don't necessarily have a solution for, so they don't really touch on that. Root causes can be dirty blood. Toxicity gets accumulated into the blood in so many ways. Agricultural, industrial chemicals, like tap water, things in our food like we're talking about. And even things that we did 10 years ago can still actually be in our bloodstream, like antibiotics, like birth control, taking the birth control pills or the UV ring or the whatever. I don't want to scare people, but I do want to let you know that things that we do now can affect us 10 years later, things that, we put into our bodies. And people around us, like people that have a negative mindset, there's so many studies coming out about how if we're around negative people, how it lowers our frequency and how it actually can cause more stress. It can affect our gut health. It can affect our energy levels, can affect our mental health when we're around people who are negative. So if we're in like an abusive work environment, that can wreak havoc on our health. If we're in a toxic abusive relationship, that can wreak, or a marriage that's bringing you down. I have so many clients who their husband or their spouse is not on board with natural health. And so it really does affect them and their ability to get healthier if they don't have enough support system. So there's that, there's so many things that can affect our health. Sleep is important. Digestion is important. Bowel movements. I love to ask about bowel movements. I get weird. I'm kind of one of those practitioners that's like, send me a picture of your bowel movements. Because I'm like, if they're really bad, I want to know what it looks like. You can kind of tell what's going on in the body depending on the bowel movements. And then I'm like, okay, now send me one a month later. And if they're better, that's a good sign. It's good for people to see, like, this was my bowel movements a month ago, and here they are now, And also sleep. It's important that we go to sleep during certain times, like 10 p.m. is actually when you start to get the healing cycles. So many people don't go to bed, like, especially in their college years, until like 1 a.m. They're missing almost all of their healing cycles. And it's important to do that, and also caffeine. A lot of people need it and they depend on it. And over time that can deplete your adrenal glands because it stimulates your adrenal glands to produce adrenaline. So some people have no energy ever and they literally rely on coffee to even get out of their house. We help people with that too. And we have to figure out what that is and what do we need to do? So I like to just work with people and we keep going until we pinpoint root causes.
Exactly. And, you were talking about the gut, sometimes, intermittent IBS, it's hard to pinpoint it sometimes. And it's really stress that causes it, in my 100%. Opinion. And that stress, like you said, you mentioned all those environments where you get stressed. And that's why it's really important to have a supportive family system. And I'm really lucky that my husband really supports what I do because he's seen a difference in my mental attitude as well as my health, all because I switched everything. And yes, he gets bummed out every once in a while. It's going to be expensive buying all this organic stuff, especially in California. But if it doesn't happen, then he sees me, not feeling well. So that's the big difference, with all that.
Oh, yeah.
And it can also cause allergies too. Totally. Our gut causes allergies.
Yeah.
And you can have rashes and all these different type of conditions. And you need to really pay attention. Your gut actually is the second, brain, so to speak. And so is your heart. That's why you need to, be happy and have a high vibrational emotions. And because if your heart is sad, then it's going to affect your gut. And then your gut is not doing so well. It's going to affect your brain and you have cloudy thinking. And it becomes a little cycle. You got to break that cycle.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now we have plenty of time. So I just wanted to let you know that and ask you, what are some most common conditions that you help people with? You kind of mentioned two of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just gave you 2 examples. I can give you I have so many amazing testimonies. I'm happy to share as many as you'd like. But I see a lot of joint pain because whenever you help one person with their joint pain, I helped this guy with his golfer's knee. It would affect his golf game. If you have pain in your knee, you can't swing efficiently. And so it really does affect your ability to play. I helped him with his knee, and he told all of his golf buddies, So the stuff I help people with, like then they start referring me all to their people around them who have the same issues. I work with tons of joint pain, back pain, arthritis, osteoporosis, that kind of stuff. I love to help people with hormones. My grandparents, passed me down their incredible company. My grandma got this formula from God about 32 years ago. And so our company, we work with energy and frequency. So they're low substance, high energy products. So they're going to work differently than like your capsules and powders. I'm not saying they're better. I'm just saying that they're different, and they taste really good. They're really affordable. And I was on an interview with this doctor on TikTok, and he has like millions of followers. And I advertised, or basically I was saying that I can help people with hot flashes. So I got hundreds of women that deal with hot flashes. And I love helping women with that because we've got some really great ways to help women no longer have those, right? Work with lots of gut issues. Anything you can think of, like weak digestion or constipation, bloating, SIBO, IBS, celiac. And, from our opinion, the holistic perspective, we shouldn't really be reacting to food. Some people will react to food if they're like gluten, if they're in the same house. If they just walk into a house with gluten, they react. That's an imbalance in the body that we need to correct. Oftentimes that it's the glyphosate, the Roundup that's sprayed on there, that it's so much in the body. And so that's one of the reasons. Of course, gluten itself has its own set of issues. People are reacting to the Roundup that's sprayed on it, the glyphosate, the herbicide. That really was what's causing that big reaction. I love helping people with that. I love helping people with rashes. I love helping people with migraines. I've got a lot of great success with migraines, blood sugar, like diabetes. My grandparents specialized in cancer. So we've got incredible stuff for that. And depending on what it is, of course, like if it's pancreatic cancer, colon cancer, or breast cancer, what have you, I'm not afraid to help people with that because I don't think it has to be complicated. I don't think that people should, if you have a tumor in your brain, I don't think we should go cut your brain open and drill into your skull and cut the tumor out. For we believe that the tumor is actually there as your body's wisdom kicking in. Our bodies create things and growth to protect you. And that can mean something is wrong. It doesn't mean we need to go cut that out. That's actually oftentimes cutting out your body's wisdom and like something that's protecting you. So, I think there's different ways to approach it, and people have skin cancer on top of their skin. There's ways to have that just fall off without having to do a surgery,
Yes, there are ways.
So I also help people with their eyes. Some people are going blind, and we can actually stop them from going blind and like actually help their eyesight better. We help people with acne. I mean, sleep is a really good one. If you're not sleeping, you are not healing. I guarantee it. If you are not getting a good night's rest, it's really hard to be happy. It's hard to be healthy. It's hard to have energy and get things done, and be hopeful. I have people with chronic insomnia, and there's so many things we can do about sleep. So, these are just some things I do, but.
Okay. Somebody is asking, what can you do about multiple myeloma?
So it's hard to give a recommendation about what to do. I like to share a phone call. I don't give recommendations about things like that, just willy-nilly. But, talk to me about it because that's, it's basically like, white blood cells in the bone marrow. There's things we can do about that. But, I would like you guys to reach out to me and we can do I do a free discovery call. I feel comfortable with doing that, but I don't like to give out recommendations just like, here you go, take this. Whenever you have something like kind of serious, I'd kind of like to like get to the root cause because there's a reason that's showing up in your body and we can figure out what that is.
And
so
some chicken skin, and that's an allergy reaction. And she really needs to talk to you more details about your lifestyle.
Oftentimes that's dirty blood. So toxicity gets accumulated in the bloodstream and deposited into connective tissue. And that oftentimes is what's going on. That's the excrement of what's going on internally. So we got to clean your blood depending on what it is. It can be microplastics, it can be chemicals, it can be pharmaceuticals, it can be mold. So many things can be, accumulated into your body and then, showing up into a rash. Bacteria, candida, fungus, ringworm. Absolutely. I've helped that. I wonder if you have anal bleeding because that can be, I'm sorry, that's gross. I'm sorry, but like that's oftentimes a symptom of ringworm.
Well, sometimes people I got ringworm, over 20 years ago because of the dive suit. I scuba dive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, yeah.
So, obviously they didn't clean those diapers too well. But my whole point is anything that contacts your skin will get into your body system.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, the ocean and water, has so many things in there. Like people go to Mexico and they get parasites. I'm not saying don't go to Mexico, but it's very common. I know so many people who get parasites when they travel and go eat other foods and go to different resorts and drink their water and eat their fish and things like that. So, parasites are great, or not great, but they're, it's something that you really want to make sure that you can get rid of if you have them. A lot of people have them. They're finding that multiple sclerosis actually can oftentimes be from parasites. A lot of cancers, a lot of migraines, and a lot of things they're finding are actually can be some of the causes of parasites.
And in all reality, can we really get rid of all parasites? I mean, you can get rid of a large majority of them, but not everything.
They're hard to get rid of. You got to make sure that you're working with a practitioner who can walk you through it, because whenever the full moon, it's a full moon, all the eggs hatch. So you got to make sure that you start a parasite cleanse, do it whenever you do it, you need to commit. Don't do and eat things and drink things that are going to feed the parasites. You got to make sure you're killing the children. And I hate to say that, killing the babies. I'm not a baby killer, but when it comes to parasites, you want to kill those babies and those eggs.
And, sometimes it may take 3 months because, it's first the adults, right? And then the babies, and then, and then the combination if there's anything left over. And if it's going to be longer than that, you may want to switch up your protocol a little bit to something else.
Totally. And the food that's the most common for parasites, of course, is going to be like raw fish and also pork. So I hate to break it to people. Some people love their pork and they love their sushi. I'm not telling you not to eat it, but if you're eating on a regular basis, there's a really good chance that you have parasites.
Yes, that's true. And, it's interesting that you mentioned about IBS, and there was something else you mentioned. You went through a laundry list.
Oh, sorry. I mean, there's so many things out there.
Yeah, but my whole point is that your gut really needs to be healthy in order for your body to function properly, to have less inflammation. And if that little idea comes back in my head, I'll let you know. Okay, someone's asking about your parasite cleanse.
Absolutely, I do. And I have clients that can oftentimes see worms. Sorry, I don't want to be graphic, but they can know that they're releasing parasites within a few days. Yes, absolutely, I do. I have a great one. It's an energy, it's a frequency parasite cleanse. So it's going to work with energy and frequency. And so oftentimes we help people and then they don't have symptoms of parasites anymore. They're hard to get rid of, but yeah, we can definitely get rid of those.
And, I had a client that has something for a type of therapy, and they mentioned flower essence. So how does your products relate to that?
Oh, I love flower essences. Are you familiar with Dr. Bach and his work?
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's basically what they are. He discovered these flower essences, these certain flowers that have an emotional charge that can work with the emotional body. So there are these tinctures that you can take. You can do a whole flower remedy intake and see which ones work with you, which ones you need, depending on certain behavioristics that you have, certain triggers that you have, and you can narrow down which flower essences you need. But they're basically these amazing plants that work with the emotional body, and they can help you overcome emotion. I love them. Our products, a lot of them have flower essences. We actually put them in there to have an emotional charge to help, because we want to let go of some of the emotion. Working with the physical and the emotional oftentimes is what really helps people have a difference pretty quickly. So yeah, our products are similar to flower essences and in terms of their tinctures that work with the emotional body.
And her tinctures taste wonderful. I'm sorry. Some herbals don't taste good. I'm sorry. But they work. I'm saying all these work, but her tinctures taste wonderful. It's wow.
Thank you.
And she also has some detoxes too in her tinctures. You have something that will help, the spleen, the liver, the gallbladder, and the kidney, right?
Oh yeah, we have many different cleanses. We're actually a practitioner company, so we work with mainly practitioners, is the people who order our products the most. And yeah, they love our detox products. They like obsessed with it. I have multiple different ones for different things. So
Yeah. And they even have one for stress too, I think called No Stress.
Yeah, we have one for trauma and stress. Yes, we have multiple products that work with, and people are obsessed with that. People like I sell out of that so quick, the stress and the trauma products. And I think some people don't even know they need them, and they come to me and like they test so strong for it. And I love it. It's like, here you go. Here's a something to help with the trauma that you have. And also it's important to be intentional with it and do some deep breathing exercises, like a mindfulness practice, like you talked about. It's important that you do that as well. Don't go to the bar every night and then take your trauma product and expect it to work. Like be intentional, go out in the sun, be barefoot next to a waterfall, and just forgive, let go, move through, forgive people who have harmed you, not because they deserve forgiveness necessarily, but because you deserve peace, and your trauma and whatever you've been through in your life can still be affecting you now. What happened to you when you were 10 years old can affect you when you're 60. I see that all the time.
It's a way to release. That's what forgiveness is all about. So why don't we get to your offer for the audience, and maybe we'll have some more time for your closing remarks. So what's your offer today?
Yep. So I'm offering a 15-minute discovery call, 10% discount off of products. So you can talk to me, complimentary, phone call, and we can just kind of discuss what you need. I know a lot of people who've been trying to heal their body for a long time and maybe seen some results, but if you're still not getting the results that you'd like and you still have some lingering symptoms that have been there for a while, I can totally help you with that. Happy to talk to you. Yeah, so the 10% discount code is just all caps, C-Way. It's abbreviated, my company name, Creations Way. And it's my website, naturesessence.life. My email is taylor@naturesessence.life. So feel free to reach out to me. And
Yeah, and I gotta admit, she has a whole bunch of tinctures, and she really needs to guide you through, because you can't just say, "Oh, I want that." She needs to really figure out if that's really going to be a good fit for you.
Definitely.
So contact her for her free consultation, and take advantage of that 10% discount. And you're welcome to ask me questions too, because I do work with her with her products. So and I'm going to end up probably asking her questions for you if that's what you want me to do. But it's better for you to meet up with her, so she really dive into your background, and then she'll just tell me what's going on. Okay, so that is such a wonderful offer, Taylor, and I will have you back as a guest again. So please stick around for closing remarks, okay?
Great.
Now, remember, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I do help you with your gut, with brain conditions, as well as like cognitive brain conditions and memory, as well as bone and joint and inflammation and stress and managing emotions and so much more. I do guide you to clean, toxic-free foods like we discussed throughout this whole episode, and high-quality essential nutrient products that will actually help reduce symptoms and make you feel better. And if weight is an issue, maybe it's going to help you with weight release as well. It's definitely going to uplift your mood. Now, with my mindset coaching, I do help people release their emotions, their stress, their entanglements from the past. And while that's happening, you're reshaping your core beliefs and you're feeling better, and your mindset would be more enhanced. With my health optimization as well as weight release, those are making your body more efficient. So that's the mind-body connection that will eventually make your soul sing, because your whole body's going to feel so much better. And when you do this, you'll see and feel the difference with my coaching programs. Ask me about them. Set up a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChanges.com/Linktree, LINKTREE. And when you do that, you get to know me, I get to know you, and I'll guide you with optimal health. And it begins with 1 or 2 health assessments. The first one's actually complimentary. It's called the health evaluation, where you can rate your symptoms. You can put next slide. You can rate your symptoms in the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. And some questions are repeated. Please go to the next slide. And I will review this with you, and you will get a health score. Now, this score is just a baseline. we will approve upon it. And when you move forward with my services, I'll create that custom natural holistic strategy for you. And we review your progress on a monthly basis. I also have 2 different Zyto scans, and I prefer to do what used to be called Zyto, but now it's called the ZeroLink. It's the same company, because what that is, and I send it remotely and internationally, and that's why I love using it. And I sent one to South Africa. What that is a transdermal optical imaging app. And I send a link to your phone. You scan your face for 30 seconds. It's only looking at blood flow for components of energetic, functional, and emotional and different body systems and lifestyles. And the emotional part is such a hidden gem, but it does generate a wellness report, not a diagnosis. It's very important to be a distinction of biomarkers out of range and product services that come back into range. And like I said, flower essence came up for somebody. And I will review it with you because it's quite intensive. And the cost of the scan is $75. If you move forward with a program or product, I'll give you a $25 discount on one of them. I also have a package where you can get a family pack for a $50 discount. So you're getting 5 scans and a $50 discount with that. And the ZeroLink is a transdermal optical imaging app, also known as TOI. It's quite accurate, and you can look it up at pubmed.gov. People are really amazed by using those terms, sorry. People are really amazed what their body says to them through the scan, and you'll be too. And if you're curious, go to my consultation and do yours and see what's going on with you. And on the same site are my programs. Take Your Body Back is a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you can be utilizing a new version of you for your success. All coaching is done on Zoom. The first one's private to everybody because I go over your health assessments. And I also give you a choice between 2 different meal plans and directions on one. Plus, I give you directions how to create a new version of you that will drive you to success with emotion and passion throughout your health and weight transformational journey, because that new version of you is what's going to make you successful. The rest of the coaching, whether it's private or group, is the same. You'll be celebrating your wins. I'll be guiding you over your gaps, and you're going to be using that board to help you propel you through your journey. Now, you're welcome to ask me questions on my consultation button for more information. You can also watch a previous episode, Holistic Self-Love, for more details. Just remember, and you get that on the show button of my link tree. Just remember that my prices have gone up. Why Fast is an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming and in turn boosts your metabolism with rich, dense nutrition and high-quality essential nutrients. And it also has exercise and recipes. Here you would ask me questions. If you feel like you need some coaching, there's smaller programs like a 2 or 4 week program to get you going, as well as remember, fasting repairs your cells, reduces inflammation, and uplifts your mood. You can also use these smaller programs for mindset enhancement as well as health optimization. But truly, those are a little bit longer term journeys, and the larger program may be more economical for you. But I can also create a custom program for you. For a limited time, I'm offering Debi's coaching chats, which is an intimate group setting, and it's not recorded. And I go over certain topics that I survey picks. You can learn how to optimize your health, ways to release stress and emotions, how to harmonize your hormones or body balance, as well as creating a winning mindset, and also, I think I said releasing weight. And also, you'll use that mindset for health and weight transformations. You also can create that new version of you in an avatar world that will drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation journey goals throughout your time. And that's what's called the avatar board. These meetings are on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and you need to be registered for it. And it's at Debi Changes Lives, DebiChangesLiv as in victory, es.com/chats, CHTS. And you learn what my coaching is all about. Finally, learn more about alternative health, services, programs, products, and offers, articles, upcoming shows, and blogs. as well as promos and events by subscribing to my newsletter, which is at DebiChangesLives.com too. But this time /radio TV show, all in lowercase, is one word. And I give you a gift, a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your gratitude, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, as well as the food, water, and nutritional supplements and exercise you do on a daily basis. You can even track your measurements. Then you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis so that you can see your wins and celebrate them, find your gaps to work on. If you need help bridging your gap, you contact me for coaching. Now, I know that there's a lot of information in this show, but I'm sure you found this show educational, inspiring, as well as enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my products, services, and offers, and reach out to Dr. Taylor Mitchell for her 10% discount and her free consultation for her products and offers. Do we have time for Dr. Taylor to come back?
Hello.
You're back. Is there anything you want to say for closing remarks?
Yeah, I just want to say how grateful I am for you, Debbie. I think you're so amazing. Really grateful to be connected with you. I think you're so beautiful and knowledgeable and intelligent and so sweet, and just it's so amazing to be connected with you. And I'm so thankful that you had me on your show. And whoever's listening, yeah, just hope that you work with Debbie because she's got so much knowledge and so much passion, and like she's had an incredible transformation herself. So she knows what to do. She knows how hard it is to lose 70 pounds. That's incredible. I'm so proud of you. It's really hard to do. So anyway, yeah, just thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful.
And I'm really grateful for you because I could be working with you, and I am working with you. And one of these days, we may even have a little workshop as a collaboration. Wouldn't that be nice?
I love that. Yeah, I'm happy to come to you for one of those. I love California. So any
Yeah, we can also do virtual if we need to, but yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So we'll figure that out. There's a lot of different things that we can talk about and share our knowledge and just inspire people that they can get healthier with a natural approach.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what's so important in our life today. If I didn't find all these solutions for myself and my family and for others, I wouldn't be offering and doing this show the way I am, because I really deeply, deep inside of me, find it that's very important and vital.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being my guest, and we'll be working together. Everybody, continue to watch and listen to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.